Welcome to Whips in the Dungeon. We don't get to do this very often, but it seems like this past year we've had quite a few unboxings. So the excitement never ends around here. If you haven't met Bunny, this is Bunny. It's my new puppy. She's a Coton de Toulier, and she is so soft. I don't think I've owned a dog as soft as this dog. But at any rate, she's going to be in a lot of my videos because she doesn't seem to be afraid of the whip. Not that I would whip this beautiful little dog, but unlike Thea was afraid of the whip and would go the other direction. This one just doesn't seem to be bothered by anything. Lightning doesn't scare her, and the whip crack doesn't scare her, and she's just a delightful little dog. So we're going to put her down because we've got an unboxing to do. I got a parcel. Let me get my pocket knife out. I got a parcel from Mojave Outliers, and we had put a whip order in. You're probably wondering why I'm ordering so many whips from Thea. Well, for one, Desert Minx is an excellent whip maker. For two, at this point in my journey, I'm really persnickety, and I know what I like, and I know when I'm very close to what I'm gonna really like. But it's not quite what I'm holding in my hand, and I have the opportunity to pass on a piece of leather, or at least sell a whip, and recoup my investment, so I can turn around and reinvest it. And ask her to do a couple of modifications, then I do that. So that's what happened. We recently took a trip to Phoenix. I was able to sell 2 or 3 of Mojave Outliers whips and turn that money around into a new whip order. Because the last signal she made me, it worked. It was beautifully agile. It worked great for overhand throwing, but I wanted to be able to demonstrate horizontal throwing with it, and it felt a little bit too agile in the handle section. I got a little frog in my throat this morning, so I apologize if I keep clearing my throat. So let's see if we can break into the box and see what we have in here. But at any rate, I asked her, she said, well, I could do a hard binding in the first 6 inches. And I said, well, let's see if we can successfully sell a few of these whips and turn around. So I had the money to reinvest in a new order, and that's what we did. So we should have 3 whips in here, because I also, that hybrid signal of hers that I really liked it, but I thought, well, if there's someone in Phoenix that wants and needs a hybrid signal, I would let that pass on to someone else, and then I would just order a new hybrid signal from Thea. So that's what I did. So let's see if I can remember how to get these babies apart. I think you start on, she wraps these in pallet wrap to keep them from getting wet in the post in case they have to go through a rainstorm or something. So you start on the small end and unwrap them like a candy cane. And if I do enough of these orders from her, I should be getting really good at this, but I tend to always have a little bit of a struggle. I think she giggles when she sees me try to unwrap her creative packaging here. Okay, we're good. We're getting there. We're getting there. Of course, on one end of the stick, the longer the unboxing takes and the longer you stay watching Dex try to unwrap this package, the more money the channel makes. So thank you very much for watching. Okay, so we have one unwrapped. Let's just go right we had success with one. Let's just keep doing this and see how we do. Start with the second one here. I held it up like this. We got it going. Of course, if I'm kind, I'll edit some of this out when it gets to the video editing portion. If I'm not kind, then I'll make you guys all watch me struggle with this. And of course, this one's not going to come unwrapped as easy as the first one did. All right, so we're not doing well here. Nope, this one didn't do it. Okay, this should be fun. This should be a lot of fun because it ain't going that way. This is not the way to do it. Like peeling the skin off of a snake, right? There we go. Wow, maybe that is the way to do it. All right, let's go back and try it the old method. Let's see how we do. I kind of like that peeling the skin off, a dead hide off of a snake idea. That seemed to actually work pretty well. I don't want to jinx myself. This one's going pretty good here. Okay. Well, I can tell you in unwrapping these, we have 3 absolutely gorgeous whips. Now, I'm actually a little more concerned about the way they throw, because honestly, in a dim-lit dungeon, nobody's going to see this fancy plaiting. Although when the scene's over and everybody comes up and wants to see the whips, then they get a close-up look at them. But when the whips are flying, nobody's paying attention to what the whip looks like. They're watching the way the whip rolls out. Is it finishing on target? The whip catcher's usually facing away from the whip thrower, so they're not seeing any of this. So literally all this pretty plaiting is really just for the whip thrower, the whip enthusiast that enjoys beautiful leather work, that's what this is. So what we have here are a matched set. We're back. I have absolutely no idea what happened. I was in the middle of the unboxing and all of a sudden my video stopped right as about when I was about to show you these 2 signal whips. So, you know, we can't redo the unboxing. We're going to try to pick it up where we were. These are a match set of 4-foot, 20 plait signal whips by Desert Minx in white and red kangaroo. It's actually a dark red, almost a burgundy. And then she did the heel knot with a brighter red and a black, which is nice because then I know which one's supposed to go in my right and left hands. That's a match signal whip joke, by the way, because they should be as close to identical twins as possible, being plaited together and all. I'm going to bring them up close so you can see this beautiful plaiting that she's done on the handles. And if you look carefully, you'll see it's what I call mirror plaiting. One is mostly done in white with a red accent. The other one's done mostly in red with a white accent. And then the thongs are also mirrored. You know, pretty much it's a straight herringbone with what I call a variation or variegated every once in a while. Beautiful, beautiful whips. She finishes her signal with an English eye, and I don't know if you can see this English eye, but it's a very petite English eye that's just big enough to tie your cracker on, which is nice because in dungeon play, you want to be able to change your crackers. So what's different with this build is her normal signal whip build is very agile. The length of the thong, and for horizontal throwing at slower speeds, I wanted a little more control, so she did a hard binding on the belly for the first 5 or 6 inches of the handle, so that it's still flexible, but it's stiffer than her normal build. So the rollout on these is perfect, and they arc against the spine perfectly. I'm going to be throwing these on all 4 planes though, so eventually they'll break in and there won't be a noticeable belly if I break them in on all 4 dimensions. The other one, roll straight, arc straight, absolutely fantastic plaiting. And the third whip that I ordered is a hybrid signal, and this one does have a stiff handle, a stiff 6-inch handle, and this is only 16 plaid, but again, it's extremely beautiful plaiting, very straight. This is an incredibly nice whip. So perfectly straight. This actually, if you can afford it, is what I recommend for a beginner's whip. The hybrid signal in a 3, 3.5, or 4 foot version, because you can do everything with this whip. You can throw horizontal, you can do bow and arrow, you can come over the shoulder, you can throw it in a forward figure 8. So literally this whip will do everything you need in the dungeon for dungeon play. And the handle gives an accuracy advantage, I think, to the beginning whip thrower. For the seasoned whip thrower, it just means you can throw with less effort because you have the leverage of the handle. Very, very nice whips. Sorry the unboxing kind of got staggered. I'll try to edit that and put it together. As always, thanks for watching Whips in the Dungeon. Remember, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, let me know what you think about Desert Minx's work, and I will put a link in the description below to her website and how to order whips from her. This is just really, really nice work. I love the way she's finishing her signal, the tailpiece she's developed for it, and the way it's finished in the English eye. That's just really nice. A lot of whip makers do an English eye. No one does one as petite or as nice as what Desert Minx is doing currently with Mojave Outliers. Again, thank you very much for watching.